All the policies, the additional, have never been policy that is improving the welfare of the people. It has never been policy that is, changing the lives of the people. Rather, it's the policy that is stifling the people, pulling them into more poverty. Government is to serve the people, improve their welfare, secure them. Look at security in our country. Look at 140 million Nigerians are in multi-dimensional poverty. 2027 Nigerians. If you guys miss to select the right candidate 2027 and elect the right president for the country, Otilo, forget it. Jesus on the cross said it is finished. That's what it will be in 2027. So right now is the time to think. Forget about tribe, forget about religion, forget about this my family member, it's my people. It's about Nigeria. It's about the country. It's about the future of the country. It's about the future of your people. If anything happens to the country, then you are gone. Because without the country, there's no you. That's what it is. So we need to wake up to make right choices now. Hello, my people. Welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV. So we're looking at quite a whole lot of drama, going on in the Nigerian political space. You recall what just happened just barely 48 hours ago, on how the primaries of political parties were conducted. It was something quite ridiculous, looking at the way they did their direct primaries. And there's quite a whole lot of drama, happening in the APC, or Progressive Congress, as a political party, in terms of how so many of their candidates were shut out. So we're going to look at, how this whole thing affects especially those who have the camp from their party to join the APC, thinking that, oh, they're going to get automatic ticket and all of that. I don't know what they were promised, but the fact remains that what really happened was so, was so shocking that most of them who were really hit cannot believe what really happened to them. So we have cases of Desmond Elliott, cases of Governor Sim Fubara, and the rest of them, even Ned Nwoko in the other state, who lost his senatorial seat to former governor of the state, Ifeanyi Okowa. So we're going to look into a whole lot of dimensions, especially when it comes to the new, judgment that came out from the court, nullifying some part of INEC, guidelines that this is inconsistent with the Electoral Act. So we'll look into all of this, and then we'll be able to, come to a conclusion in this video. So before I go into all the details in this, conversation I have today, if you're new to my channel, please kindly like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. Just press that notification bell so that when my next new video drops, you're gonna get the alert, okay? And then you will be abreast with what is going on, within the country and in the political arena. So guys, I was watching quite a whole lot of clips, and the one that even touched my heart was that Sim Fubara, has withdrawn from the, gubernatorial race. So I was kind of wondering what is really happening. So it shows you that, former governor, Nwike can, bite so hard that no matter where he is, he's biting harder. But I keep wondering how Nwike is doing all of this. He's holding PDP to the jugular. He's also holding APC in his own, bosom. That's why he's still frustrating Governor Sim Fubara. I also understood that most of the guys, Sim Fubara wanted to, put into positions, wanted to bring his allies for them to get some, nominations and all of that. That some of those guys were also, shut up. So I was watching. Why will Sim Fubara withdraw from the race? So many people have adjudged him that he's a weak person. How can he just throw in the towel? How can he just give up and all of that? But you don't know what he has seen. You don't know what he knows. So judging him from outside, you may not be right. You may be right. Nobody knows. But I think that for a man of his caliber, being a governor, knowing the kind of battle he has been having with his predecessor, he knows that he has done that fight, that battle to some point, and throwing in the towel at this time is going to make him look as if all the fight he has put up before is nothing. But I think, I believe he knows some certain things that made him to come to that conclusion, because it's not easy for him to decide to just do 4 terms as a governor when he's the one holding power, in the state and all of that. So we know that it's a very critical decision that he made. However, the transfer window is open. So those of them who were shut out in APC, they now have the privilege and the opportunity to decamp, to join another party, so that they can be able to achieve their ambition. So if Sim Fubara still wants to contest as a gubernatorial candidate of, River State, he has the right now to move to ADC, to move to NDC, to move to NRP and the rest of other political parties that are there. He can move in there, move his team of supporters. If he knows they have the clout, they have the capability, and they have the people that can help him return back, to the position without his former boss, Nyesom Wike. So this is where popularity now comes in. You need to test your ability. You need to test, your persona to see how, people have received you, to see how popular you are, to see if you really command, the mandate of the people. Most of these guys, even in the case of Simfu Bara, many have said that during political campaign, when he was even contesting for the governor, nobody even knows him. Nobody even hear him speak and stuff like that. So it was Wike who ran all the stuff for him and handed him over power. And now, on which platform will he run? Even if they come from APC to a new different party now so that they can contest, does he have that people? Does he have that mass mobilization? Does he have that mass supporters who can be able to come out that day, cast their vote for him to defeat, the candidate that Nyesom Wike has put in there? So these are the questions, because when many people rise through godfatherism, rise through people, pushing them into that position, they think it's easy, but it's not easy. So, but this is the time for him to prove and show, his capability. So if I were him and I still want that position, believing that I'm doing the job for River State, why not? They can't go to other party. That's what politicians do. They don't stay in one party. They move from one place to another. Everywhere you go, even in the U.S., many people have been in Democrats. Suddenly they move to Republicans. Some are Republican. They move to Democrats. So it's allowed. Freedom of association is allowed as far as you are doing it within the legitimate, means and within the legitimate window that is provided. Then we are good. So with the court, nullifying some sanctions of, INEC guideline that it negates the electoral law, because the way INEC planned that guideline, it choked political parties. As you are doing registration today, you have 3 weeks to submit it to INEC and all of. When there are still, almost close to 8 months that's remaining before the main election. So there's still quite some time INEC can be able to build in some of these things. Now that court has nullified it, what next for INEC? So they're going to review the guideline and be able to come up with something that makes more sense in tandem with the Electoral Act, or they can appeal the judgment. And whatever the higher court has said, well, that will be the direction. But I think for me, INEC should just kindly look at their, their guidelines and review it so that it can be, friendly to political parties, because choking them up brings all this kind of chaos that we are seeing today. So this takes me back to Desmond Elliot matter. I saw him on TV, crying intimidation, that his supporters are intimidated, quite a whole lot of stuff. And he was on TV, still speaking. He knows his problem. He knows what is happening to him. He knows the people doing him what is happening to him. But he's still on TV calling them daddy, calling them whatever, all kinds of names, just to pacify them. But he doesn't understand how politics works, even if he has been in the game. When these godfathers are fed up with you, when they said that's the end for you, it means that's the end for you. There's nothing you say that pacifies them. They can forgive you, but they will no more use you. That's the way it works. So if Baja, but if Femi Bajabiamila, who is the chief of staff to the president, coming from his same Surulere constituency that is represented, and he has the political clout there. I heard he has been doing, a lot of projects, as a constituency project for the, constituency where he came from. So if the guy, he has fell out with the guy, he knows he's not coming back. So there's no point coming on TV, crying intimidation, coming on TV, calling them sweet names so that they will rethink, what they are trying to do to him. They have already chosen the next candidate who's going to replace him. And that is fine. So there's no point doing all of that. Just accept your fate and move on. It is what it is. That's politics for you. When you are useful to them, they use you. When you are no more useful, they trash you. They don't care where you end up. They just kill your political career. So as it stands, there's nothing Desmond Elliot can do when it comes to Surulere constituency. He can only go to another place and do whatever I want to do. But in terms of that constituency of Surulere, is in the pocket of Baja, and they are choosing who is going in next, and that person is going in. So whichever way he wants to do it, even if you cry intimidation, he was showing videos of how his supporters were shut out from the venue. They were sacking some of his supporters, from their job and all of that. So that's extreme anyways. But the fact remains that politics is not for the weak. You must be ready to accept anything that comes your way. You must be ready to face it headlong. So when the going was good, we are not seeing him on TV, talking and doing all those stuff. But now the going is not good. That's when he's appearing on television. He knows where his problem was coming from. It is the impeachment of the former speaker, Obasa. That is where his problem came from. So all this one is saying he appended his signature without knowing. He thought that the order came from the presidency, from the higher ups basically, and that it came back from South Africa. So if it is your death warrant they presented to you, you won't read it, understand it, ask questions before you sign. So they present a document to you, you just sign because other people have signed. Make it to make sense. So you see, he supported the woman, Mojisola Miranda. That is the point. And Obasa is president's guy. So, and Waja is chief of staff to the president. So all of them are working in tandem. And recall that Waja himself also have ambition to be a Lagos State governor. So, but probably, I don't know how they arrive at the end of the day. The GSC now decided that, Hamzat, who is the deputy governor right now, will be the one to succeed someone. So you can see in Lagos politics, these things are decided by some group of individuals. That's what it is. So if you are not in the heart of those individuals who they call themselves the GSC, right? Or you're not in the good books of the president and his group, then forget it. You cannot achieve anything when it comes to Lagos politics. That's what it is. So that's what is happening to Desmond. Things are decided on the high table. When the decision is made on the high table, the foot shoulders goes into, do the implementation. So all these things is ranting, going around about television station and talking, is not going to change anything. It's either he move back to his movie role, or they look for something else to do. That's what it is. As for him, that's the end of the road for him when it comes to politics. He can't even go for federal level now, federal lawmaker. He can't go there because it's still the same people that decide who goes there. That's it. So the question now is this politics that people are the ones that decide other people's fate in terms of small group of people making decisions that affects the lives of other people. So it's supposed to be the constituents that will be able to do what? To make the decision, to make the choices of who represents them. But it doesn't work that way. How it works is that few people, they may not even be more than 10 people, who sits down, decide who goes for governor, who goes for local government chairman, who goes for senate, who goes for this. When they finish agreeing on who goes for what, they will now bring up those people and say, you are going for this. Remember what happened to former Governor Chris Ngige then? He wanted to go for senate. The Andoba guys came out and said, no, you're not going for senate. We're going to make you a governor, because they are the kingmakers in Anambra at that time. They made him Mbaduju the governor. And then Mbaduju could not deliver. Why? Because they held him on his neck. Whatever comes to the state, they collect part of the allocation as part of the allergies for putting him there. That's why the man could not do anything. That's why school went on strike for over a year or thereabout and all of that. So in the next tenure, they felt that the man is not doing well. They want to remove him to put Ngige. When Ngige entered, there was crisis between them and Ngige because Ngige refused to play along like Mbaduju did. And that was when Ngige had started having problems to the point that he was kidnapped. If you recall the story, until when they couldn't push him out by hook and sinker, they even did signed one resignation letter, announced it at ABS, Anambra Broadcasting Service, at that time, that the governor has resigned, when it's not true, So at the end of the day, they kidnapped him. The letter, was released by the help of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar at that time. So when you recall all these stories, you will see what people go through when it comes to politics in our country. How did Ngige defeat them? Ngige refused to bow. He refused to release state allocation to few individuals. Ngige started working. I'll give him a thumbs up. He worked when he was governor, despite all the court cases, all the pressure coming from these guys at that time. That's how he created that foundation, right? And then when they couldn't do any other thing, they used the court and pushed him out. That's how P2B came in. And P2B consolidated on what Ngige was doing at that time, shut out all those big wigs, those godfathers. He shut them out. That's what I was telling people, that if P2B managed to win the presidential position, you will see what will happen in Nigeria. Nigeria will change dramatically, because I know the guy very, very well, what he's capable of doing. Very soft, gentle as dove, but it's like a viper. He can't confront you personally, but no, he will only use the key, lock up all those loopholes where these bourgeois are feeding from. Once he lock it up, those guys will give way. They want their own leave. That's what he did in Anambra. He locked all the sources, money freighters away to politicians. All of them left him. They now went on TV and started attacking him. He's wicked, he's stingy, this is that, impeach him many times. Why? Because money is not flowing to politicians. The way they inflate contract, siphon money, he block all those loopholes. And that's what's going to happen in federal government. If he wins, all this borrow they are doing, he will not do borrow. He will block leakages, mop up that money that is leaking out, and put it back into the economy. That's how he developed that number at that time. So, but people don't understand. Many people run with the lies, they hate him. There's quite a whole lot that's going on. I was watching the video where Ralph Mosu was talking about how P2B, he defeated him in primaries, and then it was Ojukwu that said this and said that, and that's how P2B was given the position when he became governor, and so on and so forth. When I heard that story, I was there when Peter Obi did the first poster. I keep saying it in my videos. That caption caught me. Is Anambra cost? CURSED. Or are we the cause? CAUSE. That question. Because Anambra have been so backward in everything. It's just like the Nigerian case. That's how Anambra was. Leadership problem. That is what we have. And then he came from nowhere, printed that poster, and that was it. And people started asking questions. And he did it deliberately for people to catch attention on him. And they worked. And from there, he came back. I personally did inquiries on him there. And I was shocked. How the billionaire is interested in all this stressful, position and all of that. But he surprised everybody. He did marvelously well in Anambra State. So these are the things we are talking about. Then you listen to Senator Victor Ume, whom I know was APGA chairman there. You had this version of the story. That Ralph Musu conducted his own primary, which has nothing to do with P2B. So he won in his own primary. That the main issue that go and watch the video, how he explained what really transpired, in their selection of their candidate at that time. So there was no primary election that was held. It was a decision that was made. So, and Ralph Musu was not even part of whoever is contested. That P2B just got the form at that time. So I watched the video, I had him, and I believed him because he was the APGA chairman. He was there at that time. He has been a chairman for many years in APGA. So they created a narrative. People don't like primary. He hate competition. This. If he hate primary, why is he not contesting in the main election? If he hates, competition. So when you listen to narrative people have created with a bid to do what? To draw down people. But the point is, when you have a star on you, nobody can quench it. So no matter what they are doing, attack Kenneth Okonkwo, attack from Dele Mamudu, all of them speaking on TV, it increases P2B's popularity and draws in more people around them. That is just the truth. And the way Nigeria is now, like P2B said, Nigeria needs a wealth manager. We have money as a country, but the management is where we have problems. And fetching water with basket is a fruitless venture. That's what Nigeria is doing. Imagine how much we are making from crude oil. Imagine non-oil export we are doing. Imagine all of those resources. Are we talking about customs and money coming from custom trade and and all of that? When you put all these things together, if we're able to harness it and put it in the right places, the country will start changing. And the call, what was published about 34 point something trillion, is moving to a different account instead of TSA. People are trapping the money. Recall, during Buhari's regime, the former special assistant to the president on asset recovery, Obono Obla, said in his video that about $60 billion is trapped in Texas, Nigerian money, crude oil, stolen crude oil money. He said it in the video. Go and watch the podcast between him and Shehu Okimbaloye on Mike on podcast. He said it, $60 billion. These are stolen money by people stealing our crude, selling it, keeping the money somewhere in an escrow account. Imagine if Nigeria draws that 60 billion back, block the leakages on how they make that money. Imagine where we'll be. Why should we be needing 1.2 billion from World Bank, for Christ's sake? Why? So this is what Nigerians should be thinking. Now, I was seeing headline that the President Bola Tinubu has told universities to be able to be paying, staff allowances or whatever, through their IGR, internally generated revenue. How did they even get the IGR? Sale of forms, charging all kinds of fees, registration fee if you are using portal and so on. You came for transcript, they charge you money to pay, they process it. These are how they generate IGR, right? Now, if they are to be using that money to be offsetting those things President is saying, obviously there will be hike in prices. If you are processing transcript, maybe it was 10,000 naira before. Now it may be 50,000. Who is paying those things? The people. The same people that have removed subsidy. Fuel price rose from 100 and less than 200 naira to 1,300 as we speak. The same people that remove subsidy from power, that they are now paying even 5,000 card, they cannot serve you for a day. The same people, they have removed subsidy on dollar, foreign exchange, that a dollar that was 740 before, yes, 450 to 450 naira before, is now 1,000 plus. They are the same people that are going to press their neck. So Nigerians don't understand what is really happening. That's why when I see people running around chanting APC or your mandate, I'll be laughing because the time is coming when that mandate will not keep them again. All the policies, the additional, have never been policy that is improving the welfare of the people. It has never been policy that is, changing the lives of the people. Rather, it's the policy that is stifling the people, putting them into more poverty. That is exactly what their policies is all about. So, what's the point? Government is to serve the people, improve their welfare, secure them. Look at security in our country. Look at 140 million Nigerians are in multidimensional poverty. Before this government came, we are talking about 130 million. We are talking about all of that figure, but now it's increasing on a daily basis. So is this how we're going to move? 2027, we make or mar this country. If this APC returns to power in 2027, well, Otilo, according to my brothers, Yoruba land, they tell you Otilo, it is finished. Because that's when we see the aggressiveness of implementing the tax law. That's where we see a lot of things that will be coming up because they don't need you anymore. They don't need your vote anymore. They don't need anything from you. So they're going to press your neck more than you can think. Because you just do the next 4 years. Gallivant from France to England to wherever is going to come back. 4 years will pass. That's the end. So it is what it is. So the Nigerians should sit down now, open their eyes. The moment all the candidates contesting for presidential come out, contesting for gubernatorial, because your focus should not just be only on presidential. Your focus should also be on gubernatorial, because the subnationals, no matter what the federal is doing, if the subnationals are not doing well, what federal government is doing will still not show impact. That's the truth, because they are interconnected. They are interconnected, the local, the state, and the federal. So that's why it's important as we are fighting to get somebody good at the federal level, we should also be fighting to get somebody good at the state level. All these governors, they campaign from this joining APC for ticket. You can see the situation of Fubara. You can see Desmond Elliott crying. You saw Ned Nwoko lost his seat. So many of them, and many more will come. I was watching the president this morning. They were asking him about the primaries. How did he see them? He said, "Oh, that the party is doing well. That they are doing that. Everything they have been doing so far has been great. So all these people, they are shutting out, intimidating, removing, putting their own people. So it is good. It is right. So you can see what we are saying. That is the point. So you as a politician that is there now, you can see what is going on. You can't even achieve your political ambition. So many were shouting, "Oh, P2B is jumping from party to party, party. Listen, you need to understand something. If you travel to Germany and Germany is not favoring you, what do? You move to Austria. If Austria is not favoring you, you move to Netherlands. If Netherlands is not favoring you, move to Malta until you find the place that favors you and you make it. Your goal is to make it. Which country you make it from is inconsequential. So P2B's goal is to be president. If ADC is not working for him to achieve that goal, he leaves to the next one as far as his movement is in line with the law and guidelines of the electoral body. That's all. You will see defection that will happen. Most of the state governors now who are trapped in APC, and you will now understand that these whole things are well orchestrated. They feel that they have already decided what they want to do. Then they use the Akpabio to do those electoral laws in that manner, so that all these governors who have the camp, they will be trapped in that party. If you don't get ticket, you can't leave. So you will remain in that party. It's either you support the party or you do anti-party. That's it. Or you don't support the party. 3 options. Support the party, don't support the party, or do anti-party. And if you do anti-party, you'll be sanctioned. So it's your choice. That is the idea. So these things are well planned. And during this primary, you can see that's why they chose direct primaries and consensus. In as much as personally, I don't like the delegate system because it's so corrupt. It's just money sharing. They select who pays the highest dollar. So, but with the direct and the consensus, you saw the counting 1, 2, they reach 100. The next thing we hear is 700, from 100 to 700. And nobody is holding the person doing the counting. Nobody is doing anything. Somebody is counting 1, 2, 3, 20. You wonder what is really happening. Is that how they do counting? Is that the new way counting is being done? At that point, people are supposed to hold him and say, "Hey, no, this is 20, 21, 22. And they're supposed to follow him as he's counting. They will be counting with him. So you can't jump from 100 to 500. Why does they do that? I don't really understand what is going on. So I don't know, because these guys have planned what they want to do, orchestrated what they want to do, and they're executing it properly. And this whole job started from the Electoral Act. That's why Akpabio knows what they are doing. You can see it's already been selected as consensus. So they plan on how all of them, who are the key players, will return. The president, the Senate president, the deputy Senate president, the speaker, and the rest of them. They plan what will make them return. Akpabio knows he's coming back. That's why he's changing the Senate rules to favor him alone, to shut out any other person who want to come. So now, as Okowa is coming back, let's assume Okowa wins and become another a senator now, which will make his tenure 8 years. So he can't even, he's not even qualified to contest as Senate president. So it's only Akpabio. And he held his group, his Senate leader, the rest of them, he's holding them like this because they are the team that are holding National Assembly on their neck. So when you look at this whole thing, you begin to understand that we are really entering a big ditch as a nation politically. Because when these people are kind of rig the whole system to favor them and their cronies, then you begin to understand that nobody can be able to make it to the top. Nobody can be able to achieve their political dreams. It's only when they say, okay, you are the one going for governor in this state, that's where you can go. That's their plan. So the way Tinubu caged Lagos and put it in his pocket, that's exactly what he's trying to do in the federal level. And he's using Akpabio to, legalize some of these things in the law. It is what it is. That's what I'm saying. Because in Lagos, Tinubu decide who runs for what. If he say you are not going, you are not going. It doesn't matter where you come from. Same thing is doing now. You can see the primaries. The primaries is showing you that it's only when they say it's you, that's when you can go. Look at Kogi State. Look at the White Lion, Yahya Bello, winning senatorial, ticket. Look at it. I know. Until court pronouncing guilty, that's when he's guilty. But for now, in a country where somebody is facing corruption case worth 80 point something billion, which people stood to vote for him? If Nigerians, they think and they read what is happening. If somebody is being questioned for that huge amount of money, which we know is possible, because by virtue of their position, no accountability, no transparency, they run the show the way they want to run it. Such claim is possible. But still, people were counting numbers to the point that he has to win a ticket. So I don't know. So for him now, the only thing that will stop him now is the court. If the court pronounces him guilty now, that's when his ambition has to become senator will end. So look at the former minister of power, Saleh, that want to escape the court, EFCC court, 33 point something billion stolen from the power sector. And he has bought nomination form. He want to contest under APC. So what are we saying? So the court that gave him 75 years, when I saw it, I was like, this, bye-bye. As much as he will be in VIP or one day you have prison break and that's it. So we don't know where our country is heading to. The country needs a compass. You need a director. You need a good manager. Someone that can, harness the resources we have, manage it properly, put it in different key sectors that will change the face of the nation. Human capital development, including the education, health, right? Investing in agriculture to boost food production and food security, investing in our security, architecture as a whole to provide, enhance and improve security for the country so that people can travel by road in peace. People can sleep with their two eyes closed in peace. This kidnapping can go down. All right. So these are the kind of things we are trying to see. Production in terms of revitalizing all these alien industry, the textiles industry. Remember Kaduna now? All those when they have Peugeot, they are there. So I can imagine what businesses are suffering today. That's the honest truth. Because cost of power is crazy. It's crazy. I don't know which kind of business that can afford that. It's too much. So these organizations like the Bank of Industry need to be revived, increase their capital base, the funding they have access to, increase it, widen the net to catch more SMEs by mobilizing them with some soft loan, create a joint venture account, put money in there through Bank of Industry and Bank of Agriculture, make them active. Forget all this anchor borrowers program. Government will not get involved. It's only Bank of Agriculture, Bank of Industry. You use them. Target SMEs. Imagine SMEs you are giving soft loan of 10 million with least interest rate to pay. Can you imagine that? And one person start employing two people each. Two people. Imagine how many million people that will be employed. That's when you can be talking about tax. Are you taxing the poor people? Are you taxing someone who cannot even buy bread to eat? So there are a lot of ideas. We have done these things in the past. You must have a proper program, PRSP, Poverty Reduction Strategy Plan. You must have it. There's no nation that don't have it, even in America. That's why you see SNAP, you see food stamp, you see ABT, all those things. They are poverty reduction program. If you are earning certain amount of money per year, you fall into that program. You can apply for it. If you want it, you access it. That's how it works, to support those kind of families. So, but in our clan, they tell you they send 5,000 conditional cash transfer to who? Nobody knows who. Where is the register? Where are the contact details? How do people verify? Nobody. Nothing. You can see the woman, the national safety net program that was heading it, that Farouk, the woman, the minister there, is wanted by EFCC fraud. Remember better educate how they were awarding contract to cronies. So when you look at all these things, you will understand that all the billions that are budget are not getting to those people. They are not getting there. Let them publish the name, publish those people. Let Nigerians go and verify. That is it. But they can't. So it's ridiculous what we are seeing in our country. But I don't know. 2027 Nigerians, if you guys miss to select the right candidate 2027 and elect the right president for the country, Otilo, forget it. Jesus on the cross said it is finished. That's what it will be in 2027. So right now is the time to think. Forget about tribe, forget about religion, forget about this my family member, it's my people. It's about Nigeria. It's about the country. It's about the future of the country. It's about the future of your people. If anything happens to the country, then you are gone. Because without the country, there's no you. That's what it is. So we need to wake up to make right choices now. So you can see, look at the Cubana chief priest, how he was edged out, 14 votes. But he's doing city boy movement, sharing generator and all this, following president's son, thinking that's how he will become a House of Rep member. He doesn't understand politics. Politics is not about running a restaurant and shouting money and water. No, politics is bigger than that. You'll be seeing something. But for politics, that thing you are seeing is not what it is. You'll be seeing a straight road, physically. But in politics, that straight road is roundabout. That's what they showed Cubana chief priest. So how can you be getting 14 votes in your own constituency, even in your own family alone, your family, your friends alone from your state and from your constituency, your people of your local government, and every Christmas you share rice, share this to people, but still you got 14 votes. Those people that are coming to your house to collect the rice, collect granite oil during Christmas and all this, where are they that none voted for you? Think about it. It means you are not popular when it comes to politics. When it comes to doing money and water, you may be popular. But when it comes to the game, it means people don't believe in you, that you are going there to do so. And joining that city boy movement is one of your killer without knowing. Nigerians are willing to collect anything you are giving them. But when it comes to, exercising their franchise, they know where to pinch their tent. That is the honest truth. So maybe it's a lesson. And if others who are in the city boys movement like Obi Kuban and the rest of them, that if they are planning to become senator or become whatever, let them learn from Cubana chief priest lesson. Politics is beyond what you are seeing. I was in this PDP, 1999 period to 2007. I saw everything with my eyes. The state will select candidate that this is the person that can deliver for them. Die minute, bags of money will come. And at that venue there, they will change who is the person. Put person that the people don't want. And they will announce the name. And that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. Politics. It's not for the weak. So the Cubana chief priest, it's unfortunate that we only got 14 votes. So think about it. Your people, your constituency, you are not valued. They don't care about you. That's the point. So it is what it is. But it's a lesson to many others that APC, they have people who decide what happens in that party. They have people who choose who becomes what. So if you are not in that league, or you don't have somebody in that league who will recommend you for them to endorse you, forget it. You are not going anywhere. They will just rig you out, straightforward. And that's the names of the people they want. That's what happens. I don't know what your own views are. I don't know what your opinion. I don't know what you are seeing within what is going on today, especially with the new, court judgment nullifying some sections of, INEC electoral guideline. So the transfer window is open. We're expecting to see more defections, especially people leaving APC to another party, because APC primary has been a primary of what I call a choker primary. It chokes people, to their neck, pin them to the wall. That's what their primary is all about. So as for ADC, I don't know what's going on there, but I know there's some rift going on. You can say Amaechi talking, he cannot be vice president. He can't buy form to become vice president. That he doesn't want to be vice president. ADC, give your stuff to Atiku, announce it already so that people will rest. I don't know why there's a delay in wasting time. They already know who they want to give the ticket. Let him get the ticket. Amaechi has said it on TV. Atiku wins the primaries, but he can't win an election. So what is the point of winning the primary if you can't win the main election? This has been his cross for years. All the 5 times he has contested, he won primaries, he lost main election. 5 times. Is he a cause? He needed to be broken. That's what it is. So I don't know if anything will change in this forthcoming election in 2027. If he wins a DC ticket, nobody knows. But guys, I'm going to let this slide there. Whatever is your comment, kindly put it at the comment section. Trust me, I reply all my comments, including the one you will send in. I will reply it personally. So I'll let this slide there. If you are new to my channel, please kindly like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on your notification bell so that when my next new video drop, you'll be among those that will be notified. I'll be calling it a day from here, hoping to see your comment in my comment section, and then we keep talking and see how our country will change. Hopefully, one day our voices will be heard, and God will help us. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. I'm signing out. See ya.